Welcome to the Stay Hungry podcast. Today, we are joined by Shelley Gabriel. Welcome.
Hi. How are you, Matt?
I'm here. We're in the studio. It's got dense walls. It's great. We have all these cameras here.
I'm excited. Thank you for asking me. I appreciate the opportunity to get on the stage.
To share your story.
To share my story.
Stage.
Yes.
Just to get it out here, right?
Just get it out.
Because I brought you on because you are a fantastic speaker. For those who don't know, we're in a group called Toastmasters, and you have your DTM. For those who don't know, what is a DTM? Like, what's it mean, like the whole process to get your DTM?
A distinguished Toastmaster is the highest achievement that you can receive from Toastmasters International. It's a lot of hard work.
I imagine.
I completed 2 in the old program.
The manual, right?
The manuals, yes, the manuals. Beside the manuals, you had to do some other leadership stuff. Beside communication, you had to do leadership too. And with the new program, you have pathways, which you know about. You have to complete 2 paths, but there's also other things that you have to do. So it's not just, okay, I finished my speeches, I'm done. No, we're a communication and leadership organization.
It takes a few years to do it all.
And it takes a few years. I will have achieved my 4th DTM come July 1st.
4th DTM.
And I have been a Toastmaster since 2011.
Okay, so walk us back to when you first joined. Like, why did you join? Who were you? Like, that kind of process for people.
When I first joined, my manager was listening to one of my calls in the call center. And he noticed I was doing a lot of ah. And for those of you who don't know what those are your filler words because you can't think on your feet.
Exactly.
And I couldn't answer the questions. And I worked for USAA, which is our customers are our military members.
Right.
And I couldn't answer the questions on my feet. Well, there's another part of Toastmasters called table topics, where you learn to answer those questions on your feet. And so he recommended that I go to the Toastmasters Club at work. And he said that there was somebody in our department who worked in Toastmasters, who was in that club.
Really?
In our department. I'm going, cool. So what did I do? I went down with them, went in, being me. Hi, my name's Shelley, and I went around and introduced myself. And then next thing I want to join. And I joined. And the company paid for my dues, so I didn't have to pay.
So you weren't scared at all? You just kind of showed up and you're like, chill?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous.
Well, you have to understand, I'm a communications major.
Oh, I see. You already were kind of doing this whole...
I already have this process, but however, my number one fear was public speaking. Being a communications major, everybody, I'm a great speaker, but getting up in front of people, I got nervous just like everybody else. I still do sometimes.
Right.
But the funny part was I went in there, joined in November. Come May, they said, hey, you want to be membership vice president? I went to Toastmasters Leadership Institute, which is officer training. Never been to training, never did anything. But I found, and this is for all the Toastmasters out there in Arizona and wherever you are, go to those events because you build your network. You will meet people because you never know. Some of those people may be helping you later in your journey. And I will tell you, a lot of them have. I have.
Like coaching, right? Like mentoring, the whole process there?
Yeah. What you do is you go to training and they give you that knowledge. One of my mentors told me, get all the knowledge that you can wherever you go, because knowledge is power. And you can use that on your journey, and you can even pass it on to others. And that's why I'm here. Not to just tell my story, but to tell everybody, go do it. It will help you. Trust me, it will help you.
Right.
Not just now, but it's going to help you in your career. It'll help you in your personal life. And who knows? You may end up being a professional speaker and you didn't even know you were going to do it.
That's true. What keeps you in the program? Because you've been doing this now for a long time, a few decades now, right?
Yeah, 15 years.
Really? 15 years? Why did you stay?
Why do I stay? Because it's a journey.
That's fair.
But it's not just a journey. I learn something new every day. I'm mentoring people. And when you're a mentor, you learn from people that you're mentoring. And it's eye-opening to see how much you can learn from somebody. But I'm not done learning. As Darren LaCroix, the 2001 world champ, says, if you take away my struggle, you take away my growth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a one-liner.
That's a one-liner.
That's pretty good.
That's a one-liner. Mark Brown, the 1995 world champ. These are two quotes that they have said, and these two quotes have stuck with me. Mark Brown said, if I stop learning, I stop living.
Well, some people aren't living then.
Yes. Yes. And I will tell you, the last few years, I have not concentrated on my growth. I've been helping everybody else.
What changed for you?
What changed for me is one of my mentors said, okay, what are you doing for your education goals? Oh, I haven't. What do you mean you haven't? You have to do you too. It's not just helping others. You have to grow too. And that is something both Darren and Mark told me, is it's you helping others, but you have to grow yourself as well.
So you began their coaching when? Was that recent for Darren?
I started... Actually, that started when they came last year in July. I had never met Mark and Darren because I don't go to international convention. I knew who they were.
Right.
But I didn't know of them. I knew, but I didn't know them.
So when they came down here, why'd you join?
Why did I join? Well, when they came, and you're going to laugh when you hear this, when they came, I made it my personal goal. And I said, I will go get them at the airport. And that's what I said, because I wanted to talk to them. There was something that had been bothering me for 13 years. I had written a speech to compete international. Somebody told me, no, that's not an international speech. Don't do it. You'll never win.
Wow.
Yeah. And what did I do? I listened to him for 13 years. 13 years that had been bothering me. That's why I didn't compete. I went into leadership and I was helping others. The funny part is when Mark and Darren both came, I told Darren about my idea. It's called Winning. It's not the one I'm competing with this year, but it's in my back pocket for another year when I compete. It's called Winning, and it's about being the best you can be. That's the foundational phrase. That's what you learn when you join Stage Time University, is you need a foundational phrase. You need a sticky message that you're going to leave with people.
Right.
Right? He told me that. I said, okay. And then I went and got Mark in the car, and I told him the same thing. And Mark told me, no, 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 no. Don't ever let anybody tell you no. He goes, when you go tonight, listen to Darren's story. I said, okay. If you don't know Darren's story, go Google it. The title of his speech is Ouch, but go listen, because he was told by 11 Toastmaster clubs to get up earlier from his fall. And yes, everybody, he fell during his speech. They told him to get up sooner. Mark told him to stay down longer.
Mm.
It's because of the impact that he had by staying down longer. And he also didn't listen to those who told him no. And that's what Mark had told me. And that has stuck with me. That's why I joined Stage Time, was I want to be a better version of myself, because I want to be the best I can be. And I'm not the best I can be yet.
Yeah. At least for Darren and Mark, they're qualified.
Yes.
Or some people, they're not quite qualified to give you all this feedback and tell you to wait. 13 years is a long time to wait.
It is.
13 years.
But I believe, and I've told both of them this, but especially Darren, that I believe God sent them in my life as a gift. And that's what I believe is they're a gift from God. God said, okay, here you go. You wanted that chance. Here you go.
Now it's waiting for you.
And now it's waiting for you. And that I took that chance. And now
this will be your first contest, right?
This will be my first contest. I competed in an evaluation a long time ago and I went 4 seconds over. This will be my first
international
contest.
Wow. Does it feel real? Because right now it is May. So you have until January, right?
January-ish.
So you've got like half a year still for this whole contest right now.
It is. But as Darren told me, start now.
Right.
I started in October. I joined Stage Time in July. I started in October of last year. And I've received 4 coachings on it already.
Wow.
And I'm going to have my
speech
on that one speech. And as Darren told me, he goes, do not write any other speeches for the championship until you get to district. That's when you start.
So you have this one speech, right? How often do you practice it? Do you change like the lines here and there?
I have not done my delivery on it yet. I'm still working. Yeah, I'm still working. I'm still working on the structure. I'm going through. Darren in his program has what we call core calls, and that's coaching from qualified coaches.
Right.
And with those, you can submit your speeches and you get that qualified feedback. I went to him first because I wanted a foundation to start from. And that's what I did. But little did I know, he also has exercises that you do on each core call week. And it's every Wednesday.
Really?
And those exercises help you with your speech. And you get coaching on that. One thing you do is you talk about the sticky message. You go in there and you talk about the message. What is your foundational phrase? What are you going to do? And I read one sentence from my speech, and they said, yeah, it's not just about you losing your weight. It's about your mindset.
Right.
Because you can use that mindset for anything to change in your life, not just that. And that's what one of the coaches had told me. One example I did was the introduction. I read the introduction. Mark gave me feedback. Jennifer gave me feedback. Michael Davis gave me feedback. And I changed the intro. And the nice thing about that, it's on Zoom. And you can go watch that feedback.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. You can go watch that feedback and incorporate it. And that is something that Darren and Mark just did their episode on for their podcast. It's called Unforgettable Presentations. There are gold nuggets from 384 episodes. I will tell you, I have listened to, I have not listened to all of them.
Well, I assume so, right? 300.
Yeah, 300. I have not heard them all yet, but sometimes I get this idea and I'm like, okay, let me go look and see if they've done a podcast because I have a question on what do I do?
Right.
What do I do? And something Darren told me, and this has stuck with me. This whole journey that I'm on with the International Speech Contest is speeches aren't written. They're rewritten. You keep rewriting them. Doesn't matter. You just don't stop at one. I said, but Darren, I don't write out my speeches. And that's what I told him. I said, Darren, I don't write out my speeches. He sent me a podcast. I said, I speak from the heart. He sent me a podcast episode. But I speak from the heart.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I listened to that podcast. Guess who else spoke from the heart and didn't write out their speeches? He did.
Mr. Darren himself.
He did before he got coached. And I'm like, wow. But then the other thing is, if you don't write it out, you can't edit it.
That's true. It's tough, though.
It's tough.
One speech, it's like your little baby here. You're trying to like draft it out here at the phrases there. It's a lot of work.
It is. And something that he told me, he wanted to know when I was going to go on a core call to get coaching. And I was terrified.
Oh, really?
And I told him I was scared because I didn't know anybody. The only person I knew was him and Mark. I didn't know anybody else. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, okay. And I told him, I said, but I don't have my speech the way I want it before I do coaching. He goes, you don't have to. That's the whole point of this. You don't have to. Send it the way it is. That's the whole point. He goes, what you have now, stop. What you have now is version 1. I said, okay. I'm now on version 16.
16.
And I'm not done yet. He wrote his championship speech 77 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow. There's no... That's a lot of like rewriting the drafts and editing. And he would travel to all these clubs too.
Yes.
Practice.
Yes.
That version.
Yeah.
Version.
Yeah. And do
you have like your game plan yet for like how you want to like go like about this?
Yeah. What I'm doing is I started with him in core 3. He told me to go to core 2. So I'm doing that next month. And then I have to go to core 1 and then I work on delivery. He goes, and then you keep practicing it. And one thing I've learned is you internalize. You don't memorize, you internalize. You can't memorize every single word. There's a lot of people I know that memorize your speech. And what happens? You forget.
You freeze up.
You freeze up.
Nervous.
Nervous. Yeah. And it's like, no.
Because you forget one word and now suddenly like your whole phrase is gone. On stage, people are staring at you. It's awkward.
And I've seen people do that. And I'm just like, and I get upset and I'm going, no, it was a great speech, but you can't memorize.
Do you have your tips for like a good speech? Because you know what you're doing now.
Yes.
You've learned so much.
Yes.
The last, few decades here. Writing and being on stage.
What to do for your speech?
What not to do? What not to do? Both of them.
What to do and not to do?
Yeah.
Well, Darren and Craig Valentine, who was the 1999 world champ, have a section in Stage Time called The Secrets of Storytelling. They tell you basically what to go through. You start out with the question. My speech is starting out with, if you ever wondered about losing weight, or can you? Something like that. Something like that. And, I'm going to be presenting at TLI next month. And and for the presidents. And I'm starting out with, what if?
Wow.
What if is a great question to start out with.
Because now we're all hooked.
Yes, now you're hooked. And that's the first thing you have to do. And that's one of the 9 C's that you learn.
Oh, there's 9 of them.
There's 9 of
Wow.
There's 9 of them. The first one is curiosity. Well, when you ask a question, you get curious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first one. That's one. But I will tell you, the main thing I have learned, there's a difference between narration and dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Narration, you're just telling your story. Dialogue is when you have your characters. And when you have your characters, you need to make sure that you're talking like the character and you're turning this way like this. You're turning to your side like you're having a conversation, like you're in the dialogue with them. That is something that I have learned. It is something I have never done in my speeches before.
Oh, really?
So this is all new to me. And I actually had to incorporate that. But one thing when I first got coached on this speech was I was talking about my mom in my speech. And Darren said, Shelley, can you turn your mic on? I said, sure. And the first thing he asked me, he goes, Shelley, he goes, what's your mom look like? I started to think, what? And then I thought, you know what? He's right. And it hit me. When you tell a story, when you read a story, the author or the speaker creates an image.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what my mom looks like because I didn't tell you what she looks like. So you don't have that image of what she looks like.
Right.
And that's part of it is imagery. You have to be able to do that. One thing they teach is called VAKS, V-A-K-S.
VAKS, so V-A-K-S.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. It is...
Fake word?
It is.
Okay.
But if you think about it, it has to do with your senses. If you think about it. V, what do you think V is for? Visual.
Vision?
Visual. Right? A, audio, auditory. K is kinesthetic, which is touch.
Touch? Okay.
Touch.
Okay.
Is touch. And S is smell. So if you think about it and you go through your stories, do you have those in there? That's the imagery that you're trying to project.
Because most don't have touch and smell.
Mm-mm.
If they have something, it's like the sight and what you said, but it's not about that feeling or about the smell of coffee.
Yes.
Right.
Because if you listen to Darren's speech, he has that imagery in there. He talks about his mom and dad, the reaction, the falling on the floor.
Right.
And the lady who he had cover his mouth. We put his hands over his mouth. Mm-hmm. And he had all the imagery. It helps tell the story because if you think about it, you read a book. Harry Potter is one of my favorite books that I like to read.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine Harry Potter without all the the
Definitely
imagery and the special effect, everything that she put into what he is, the wizardry and all that stuff. Can you imagine how boring that story would be?
Yeah. It's tough for a speech, though, because you have a very short time frame.
You do.
So you got to pack all this in with the sensory, the characters, the sights in like 5 minutes.
It's 5 to 7 minutes, right?
Very quick.
It is very quick. And my speech right now is like 6 minutes and 13 seconds. The last time I
timed good then.
Yeah.
Because if you get past 6:30, it gets a little dangerous.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You don't know.
And
you can start talking too fast, too slow. The crowd starts clapping more often. You have no idea.
And for those who are listening, 750 words is what you need for a 5 to 7 minute speech.
Which is not much, I don't think.
No, it's not. But that's where I am. I'm like at, I think I'm almost to 700. Not quite. I've cut it so much. It's not funny. Just after all the coaching that I've received, I'm like, oh, but the one thing I have learned is clarity, clarity, clarity. Say this, boom, you're done. I'm like, oh, because I like to put in more detail. Nope.
So how do you balance clarity and then storytelling? Because storytelling, you add in all these like details about the tree had X, Y, and Z, but clarity is like the tree was red,
One of the things that is in my speech is about my weight. That's what I talk about in my speech is being fat. And the line is, I go shopping and I find clothes that I like, but they don't fit me because I'm too fat. Yeah. And what happens is, as Darren explained it, you want the punchline to be at the end, not at the beginning of your sentence. You want it at the end because it's going to create more impact. So he had me move the fat. I am fat at the end.
And then pausing, because that's a lot of weight for us to hear.
Yes.
So for you, you've heard this word like you're hearing for the very first time for this story.
And pausing, a lot of people say, your pauses are good, but you pause too long. You've got too many pauses. No, I don't. There's a reason for those pauses in your story. It's for you to think about what has been said.
It's all how you feel. Like the words matter, but the feeling behind the words is really what matters most.
That's something else I have learned is to elicit emotion.
Do you have tips for that? Because some people have a hard time getting at their heart on the stage.
You do. You have to be in the right mindset when you are on the stage.
Yes. Which is tough because you have all this pressure.
Which is tough.
So you have to almost be in like your head, like away from all the people, just you, like your head.
But I have something. When I join stage time, I have a card that every time I go on stage or I give a speech, I have it with me. It's called my Connect card. It's got 4 questions on it. Am I present? What's my intent? Am I going to have fun? And the last one is, and this was taken from one of the old past world champions. It's, if this was going to be my last presentation ever, is it the best that I can be? Or something like that. Yes, something like that. If this was going to be the last one, Is it going to be the best one ever? I carry that card with me. And I can tell you, it has calmed my nerves because there's been times I go, oh, Lord, what am I going to do now? I get up there and I'm like, and I just sit and I breathe and I'm like, okay, I got this. I can do this. And it's funny that we're talking about that because when Darren was just here in April, we had the workshop for him that you went to. And he did something that I wasn't expecting. He didn't do that at the last workshop with Mark. He came off stage. He came by me and he said, the floor is yours. And you have to understand, I had no idea he was going to do that. This was unplanned. This was impromptu.
That wasn't planned. I didn't know.
That was not planned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. And I thought to myself, he's giving you stage time. And I thought, okay, this is your chance to show Darren what kind of speaker you are, because he's never seen you speak on stage.
Mm.
And I thought, okay. So I got up there, talked about my Toastmasters journey, and
you did very well. Like,
oh yeah,
on the spot too. You seemed very like natural, like relaxed, calm.
Yeah, it was great. And he got in there, and he was blown away. And I'm like, yeah. And I had him do an evaluation of how I did planning the event and everything. And he said, your enthusiasm is infectious. And he said, you lead by example. And you are an inspiration. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what he goes, and that's inspiring. You're leading by example. And I've been told, you're an inspiration. And throughout my career, I've never been told an inspiration. That didn't happen until I joined Stage Time. Because now I'm giving speeches, and I'm also doing videos on LinkedIn.
I see that. It's like daily too.
That's daily.
Daily.
And and that came about because Darren issued me challenge to do 100 videos. Yes, it was 100 videos. He also challenged me to get to 100 speeches fast.
100 speeches.
Yes.
Wow.
And he said, if you want to work with me, that's what you need to do. And that's
so
what he
why
told.
The online content?
I asked him that question about doing the videos because I'm like, Darren, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'll do it. No, don't tell me. Show me. And I asked him, I said, why do I need to do the videos? I said, Darren, I don't understand. Why do I need to do them? He goes, it's for you to use your voice and to test your ideas. I thought, okay. And I was scared. I'd never done videos before. No experience doing videos.
Public too.
Yeah, and it's public, which is scary. And I got to thinking, this is going to help me later down in leadership, my leadership track, because I'm going to have to do these later. And I thought, this is going to help me now. So I started doing them, and I thought, okay, Darren's never going to watch them. I'm good. He was watching.
Oh, really?
He's still watching.
That's funny.
Isn't that funny? He's still watching, and he gave me feedback. He sent me messages and gave me feedback on what I need to do. And I'm going, oh, he is watching. Because he said, if you want to work with me, you need to do this. But deep down in my heart, I believe that he sees something that I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And as a good coach, a qualified coach, that's what happens. Is they see something that you don't see. And that's the thing that I have been missing for the last 13 years was the confidence. And that's what you need, is that confidence.
You do need it.
And he's built that confidence in me that, yeah, you can do this. And now it's like, now I want to give speeches all the time. So, I get stage time when I can get it. But now I'm getting opportunities to be able to do that. And I'm like, wow. And now I want to be a professional speaker. And I can tell you, when Mark and Darren were here and I had them in the car, a lot of people who compete in international turn into professional speakers. And
so what's like your dream? Let's say 5 years from now. You had like all like your dreams come true.
5 years. What do I want to do? Well, leadership, to go in the trio. That's my one goal that I have.
Which might be for next year?
That'll be in a couple, 3 years probably, because I got to get through competition first. And
so you want to do the contest first?
I got to do
that.
Yes.
Do the trio afterwards.
Yeah, after, because one of my mentors suggested I compete because it will help me with the clarity of my message.
Oh, Don, I guarantee.
Yes, it will, and that's why I'm competing. And I'm like, and I've had people say, "You sure you don't want to?" No. I said, I've invested all this time. No. I've invested time. But look at the time that people have invested in me, in giving me that feedback. And it's like,
So
no. And then after that, I want to do my big, crazy, ridiculous dream is I want to be able to present with Darren.
That would be a dream come true.
That is something that I want to do.
Because he does like seminars and speeches throughout the world.
Yeah, he does. He does. And that's something that, that is something that I want to do. And I told him. I told him, he goes, anything's possible with God. I'm like, what? Really? And I thought...
So if you're right here, what I think that you need to do to reach that point to be on Darren's stage? Like from here to here.
What do I need to do? Well, I need to go all in, which I have already, but I need to do more than what I'm doing now. In fact, I just asked him for something from the podcast that he had. I said, okay, speaking like a champ, where do I go get what you were talking about? Mm-hmm. And that's what I asked him. And he goes, okay, have you gone through the fast track program? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you done all the mastery programs? No. Okay. You need to go do that before you even start worrying about speaking like a champ. I'm like, oh. The mastery programs are more than an hour. Some of them they're about, I want to say 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
For you to listen to and watch. Storytelling is like huge. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Which you want to,
yeah. The other one is creating a keynote. Yeah, that one's long. All of the mastery programs, creating a keynote, storytelling, the secrets of storytelling, own the stage, make them laugh, and training. They're all 4 or 5 hours long.
So he wants you to master those first and then go from that point to like paid speeches and then go from that point to Darren.
Mm-hmm. And in one of the webinars that he had a free webinar. He talked about being a part-time paid speaker. I said, part-time? What? You mean I could do this when I retire? You know, and if you ask people that know me 5 years ago, I would have said, no way to this. No way. I don't want to do this. No, no, no. And it's like now I start thinking, I'm like, maybe I can. He's brought out the stories that I didn't think I had.
Mm-hmm.
Because every story that you tell, somebody needs to hear. And that's a quote from Mark Brown, too.
Take us back to your mindset and your weight journey. Because for me, that's like a very personal journey. And you're on stage, or you're going to be sharing like your journey with all these people that are strangers. Why?
Why I want to is because I know I'm not the only one in that struggle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people trying to lose weight and they can't. And if I can help just one person or inspire just one person, then I've made my goal. I mean, my doctor put me on Mounjaro, which is one of the, whatever they call them, drugs, GL1 or whatever they're called. But I was on the medication. Okay, the medication, it's going to help me lose weight. Okay, fine. But I kept eating the way I was. I hadn't changed my habits. And then I was going home from the doctor's office. And this is in my speech. I was going home from the doctor's office. And I heard this ping in my head. It was my father's voice. My father passed away in 2021. And I heard his voice. Shelley, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Remember, you lost your weight after you had your open heart surgery in 2020. You were 25 pounds away from your goal. But I got away from that goal. I got away from that mindset. I lost my mindset. And so what did I do? I started thinking, what did I do to lose my weight? Oh, eat protein, veggies, starch, and fruit. That's what I eat every single day. I started at 230 pounds. I'm now down to 162.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you. And my goal is 150. I still got 12 pounds left to lose.
So mindset-wise, how'd you do it? Because it's easy to say, eat healthy, but to do it is the hard part.
It is. But I remember what my dad told me. You can do anything to put your mind to it. You can change anything if you put your mind to it. Mindset matters. And that's what he told me. And so what I did was I changed my eating habits. I changed how I was eating. And I'm like, okay, I can still go out to eat. We went to lunch.
Yeah.
You know, I can still go out to eat. Yeah, I may go up a couple pounds, but here's where the mindset is different now. Yeah, I go up a couple pounds, but then I go right back to where I was eating healthy. I go back on my mindset to the healthy eating that I was eating. Before, oh no, I gained 2 pounds, I would get upset, I'd go eat.
So your thoughts change, it sounds like.
My thoughts changed.
You have tips for that? Because your thoughts are looping 24/7. So you have all these thoughts. And if you're not careful, you have these patterns, paradigms, and you think, I can't do this. I'm a fat person, and fat people eat this way. So you're like stuck then.
Yeah.
In this loop.
Yeah.
Constantly.
It is. It was. But yeah, I gained 2 pounds. But guess what? I go back right on my diet.
Exactly.
I go right back. Before, I didn't do that. I'm like, It's all right. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do that. No, you can't do that. Well, that's anything. That's drinking. That's smoking. That's, anything. If you're going to change your habits in your life, you have to change your mindset.
Mm.
That's the message I have in my story.
Not a lot of people.
Yeah. And after I have given this speech a few times, and I had people, they said, "Thank you. You've inspired me. It's going to help me because I'm on that journey too. And I needed to hear it." I said, well, that's the whole point of me doing this, is to help and inspire. That's my goal. It's not to win the trophy. It's to help people.
Right.
That's my whole goal, is just to help people.
And your whole journey is part of that, because if you hadn't been that heavy, then you couldn't have told this story. So you're able to now help people do this whole story now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all part of the process.
And it's funny because if you go on LinkedIn, you will see my videos. And my videos, I talk about mindset matters. And that's something Darren goes, you need to tell your story. I said, okay. So I started doing that. And then I started getting more people looking at my videos and going, what? And they said, thank you. And I'm like, I'm actually inspiring people. Wow. I didn't know that. And
they commented. You don't know who sees it, didn't say anything. So touching lots of things probably.
And there's people watching. I think one week I had on the impressions on LinkedIn, I had 300 and some for 1 week. And I'm going, wow, 300 and some. I'm like, what? I'm like,
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. And I'm like, oh, wow. And that's why I'm here, is to tell my story, to get it out there. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it.
And you're still so young. You've got time to get on that stage with Darren to win the contest.
Yeah, I'm still,
you have time.
I have time. And that's something else that I've learned is, you're not too old. That's another episode that they had. You're not too old to do this. And I'm like, I'm not. You've been doing this for 30 years. What do you mean I'm not too old? You're not too old. You can do this. If you have stories, if it's something that you really, really want to do and to work at it, you will do it. And that's what I've learned. And the mindset on my journey that I have, I've kind of set that on everything. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go compete. Never competed in international. As I said, I was told no. But I've been told.
Years, right?
Huh?
For 13 years.
For 13 years.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. Yeah, I gave speeches. But I've had feedback since last year. They said, wow. They said, that's the best speech I've heard you give in a year.
Wow.
In a year.
Okay.
Because of that difference. And I'm like, oh, I've come upon something. But something I've learned too is a lot of people don't do this, is you need to record yourself.
Hold on.
You need to record yourself. And you need to watch yourself and you need to listen.
That's tough for me because they say to listen to your audio.
Yes.
Watch yourself, and then there's one more.
And then run it back.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Run it back fast.
But that's tough for me because you hear your own voice.
Yes.
It's in my head.
You cringe. Do me a favor. Go listen to the brand new podcast they just did. It's about that. Go listen to it. And, if I can, and, I've had a few people join stage time. I said, it's going to help you. I even got them to do coaching. They're going to coaching. They're going to get coaching. They said, wow. And I said, yeah. The coaching is part of your membership when you join Stage Time, because most people cannot afford the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching is expensive, but it's in your membership when you join Stage Time. I'm like, okay, so I'm getting that free coaching with my membership. I'm like, and these are qualified coaches. I have Mark Brown. I have Darren LaCroix. I have Jennifer Leone. I have Stephanie McHugh. I have Chris McGuire. I have Michael Davis. Those are the coaches. Chris McGuire was an Emmy award-winning, nominated writer. Humor.
Wow.
Right? He wrote for Arsenio Hall. He wrote for Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. Yeah. Darren.
They have their own like styles.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Persons.
Yes.
Really.
Yes. And then he's got Mark Brown, his coach. He has Stephanie McHugh, who goes and does shows. She's comedy. Jennifer Leone, she's a coach. She will help take those stories out of you. I've been coached by all of them, and I can say I'm, and it's funny because those exercises, people need to do them, and they don't do them, and they need to, because you get coached on those exercises, and then you take that feedback and you put it in your speech. Think about how much better your speech is going to be when you do that.
Exactly, and you're being coached to then coach yourself.
Yes.
Because you're becoming qualified to then coach. So
yeah,
it's like a little process.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. So if I can get all those gold nuggets and just, and I pass them on, I said, hey, guess what? Do this. And I passed on stuff, and, I'm helping people and I'm doing stuff.
Because I've learned from you too. So, I mean, we're all passing it on here.
And I've learned, and I, and when I tell Darren, that I helped and what I'm doing and stuff, he goes, thank you. He goes, that's what it's about.
It's about spreading the love.
It's about spreading the love. And when I said, and I've actually issued the challenge, the speeches challenge, I'm going to issue that challenge to you.
100 speeches.
The 100 speeches fast.
I think I've maybe done
What are you?
17.
Okay.
So we're still very far.
You're still, I have 23 left to get to my 100.
Well, you're probably past that because you've been here for a while, but
probably.
I'm guessing, but starting from
no, that was
2 years.
That was actually, he just put that challenge to me like in September.
That's fast. So
Yeah, September. Well, I'm like, but I think about the different speeches. I mean, it's not just in my clubs. We have anniversaries at work. We have all kinds of different things that I'm like, okay, I'm doing all these speeches. Okay. And I'm like, it's helping me build my confidence and find my voice. And that's something I haven't done in I don't know how long, because I let everybody else give their speeches. I'm like, but I'm not growing and I'm not learning. And it's like Mark Brown said, when I stop learning, I stop living. And I've done that the last however many years. I quit living because I quit learning. And now I'm back in that learning seat again. And I can tell you.
Well, now you're back. You're a sponge now.
I'm a sponge, yes. And if you see that, you say, I'm being a sponge. That's what I'm doing. I'm absorbing. I'm learning everything. And that's a program that Darren has, is being a sponge.
Because most people aren't. Most people can't learn new tricks.
No.
Same people that they were when they were 30 or 40.
Yeah.
They don't change too much.
They can't. And it's like, okay, but if you want to be the best that you can be, you need to learn from the best. And that's what I'm doing.
And be coachable, which is tough because some of their feedback is not always sunshine and rainbows.
It's
hey,
not.
You did this wrong. I fixed it.
It's not. And Darren has a quote And it's something I think about every time I get coached, every time I get feedback. If you are not coachable, there is no cure.
Well, yeah, no one can save you.
No one can save you. If you can't take that feedback that they're giving you, how are you going to get better? How are you going to improve?
Can't.
You can't. He gave you
Lots
of feedback.
whole document.
A whole.
Yeah,
He went, and I will tell you. That's what they do in the coaching calls.
Right.
That whole thing that he gave you is what he does on those calls.
Thorough.
And is very thorough.
I'm going to add on there.
Yes. And it was very thorough on what he saw. And it's funny because when he said, he goes, okay. I said, he wants coaching. He goes, okay, we can do that. He stopped 90 seconds in and gave you coaching because he saw.
Yeah, and he was saying too, it's like the non-toaster or non-Toastmaster fluffy. It's gonna be like real concrete and like honest.
Oh yeah, and these the coaches that I give feedback from, they're honest. They do not give all the fluff and stuff that the Toastmasters give you. No. This is honest feedback. When I actually got my coaching started with Darren, that was the first thing he asked me. Shelley, what's your mom look like? I'm like, oh. And that speech has changed 16 times now.
Wow.
Because of the coaching, not just on the calls when I got coaching from the coaches, but the exercises that I got coached on. I do the exercises. I type them out and then I put them into the chat. And I'm the first one in there. And then they take that and they give you coaching on it. And it's so funny because I get coached, and it's funny when they coach you, it's not just for you, it's for everybody. It's for everybody to learn. And they do that. And it's like, wow. And they say that this isn't just for Shelley. This is for all of you. When you're doing your speeches and your presentations.
Exactly. Well, you have been fantastic. I'm curious, like your last thoughts at the audience here, like your last takeaway, your last thoughts that you want to share with people here.
Mindset matters. Whatever you want to do, change your habits, set your mindset, because you can do anything you want to. And if you're really serious about wanting to be a speaker, professional speaker, speeches, if you want to compete, go check out Stage Time University.
Yeah.
Go check it out. And I'm on LinkedIn. You know, if anybody that's a Toastmaster, you want to get a hold of me, you'll find me and get a hold of me. Because I will tell you, it is the best investment I have made in my life. Because it has changed me and it has transformed me. And I didn't know that it was going to do that. And when I see people coming up to me saying, "You're a great speaker. Oh my God." And I had people telling me that after my impromptu speech. And I'm like, wow. Wow. But that's the impact that you have. And that's what you want to do. You want to impact people. You want them to leave that because you want them to remember that for years to come. And if I can just help one person, then I have my goal.
Yeah, just one person. Well, guys, go find her on LinkedIn or Stage Time. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, stay hungry.